Filmz TV præsenteres i samarbejde med Solid.
You think your world is safe. It is an illusion. Enjoy these final moments of peace.
Velkommen til Filmz TV. Lad mig først lige beklage min noget hæse stemme. Det skyldes naturligvis, at der i denne uge er biografpremiere på en ny Star Trek film, Star Trek Into Darkness, og som en passioneret Trekkie kan jeg naturligvis ikke undgå at juble mit stemmebånd i stykker, når end jeg får lejlighed til at tale om den skæbeskønne science fiction franchise. I Star Trek Into Darkness støder kaptajn Kirk, Spock, Uhura og resten af Enterprise rumskibets galante besætning på en ny trussel i form af den gådefulde terrorist John Harrison, spillet af Benedict Cumberbatch. Og som man kan forvente af en blockbuster-aspirant til $190 millioner, leveres der rigeligt med twist, action og lensflares. Og Filmz TV var for nylig i London, hvor vi fik talt med flere af filmens skuespillere, Alice Eve, Zoe Saldana, Chris Pine og Zachary Quinto, og Karl Urban og Simon Pegg. Og vi lagde ud med at tale med den søde engelske frøken Eve, som spiller våbenspecialisten Carol Marcus. Eve blev dog først for alvor snaksalig, da vi bragte fodbold på bane. Og her var vi heldigvis helt på bølgelængde.
Are you actually originally from London as well?
I'm a Londoner, yeah.
Yeah. So which club do you support?
Chelsea
Awesome.
Blues.
Yeah, yes.
Chelsea Blues.
Yeah, but are you a fan of sci-fi?
Not sci-fi. I'm now obviously a fan of Trekkie, because not a fan of Star Trek, because not to be a Trekkie would be to not support your home team. Chelsea. But yeah, I like it. I'm not sci-fi though. No.
Good night, guys. Good night. And we'll take her.
JJ engenders a feeling of immense intimacy, and he doesn't allow you to be overwhelmed by the scale of the production, which is a large-scale production. But he creates relationships at every point, so he makes you feel that everything is safe. And all that stuff comes from the director down. You can't have that environment without the director being like that. He sets by example.
Like, that's good, Dad. Action.
Derefter sprang vi videre til energibundet Zoe Saldana, som også spillede den kvindelige hovedrolle i James Camerons Avatar. I de nye Star Trek-film spiller Saldana kommunikationsofficeren Uhura, der ofte forvilder sig ud i samtaler på nogle ret særprægede sprog.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you doing?
Very good.
Cool. You must have been...
Look at your shirt.
Yeah, it's
Live
nice,
long
right?
and prosper.
Yeah.
I love that.
Words to live by.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to be physical as a female. I do believe it's very important to see women have more relevance in the solving of the problem in a movie.
But you're almost fluent in alien languages now. I mean, just Avatar and now Star Trek, Klingon, Romulan. Do you speak any Klingon still? Anything?
No. I wish I did. I worked with a linguist that they flew in from San Francisco, who's an expert at Klingon, and we rehearsed maybe for 2 weeks. And once I said all my lines that day, I thought I was going to be able to memorize and leave, stay with something. I completely forgot it.
So you're not tempted to go to night classes in the U.S.? I know there are places where it's more popular than Spanish and Italian to
I've
learn.
heard of those places too. You never know, maybe.
Cool.
I definitely like the way it sounds.
Ome suho. Ha ha. Ay. Edge. More. Johnny 2. Bye.
Ja, efter sådan en dejlig kavalkade med klassiske Star Trek-momenter, er det jo oplagt at springe videre til den skønne duo Simon Pegg og Karl Urban. Pegg har rollen som den frembrusende skotske maskinmester Scotty, mens Urban spiller Enterprises evigt sarkastiske overlæge Leonard McCoy. De to figurer får lov til at levere hoveddelen af filmens humoristiske replikker, og desuden er de to skuespillere de eneste fuldbyrdede Trekkies, som er med i skuespillertruppen. Et faktum, som vi meget hurtigt fik påvist.
Do you actually get people asking you like help for medical ailments, or if someone's car or machine computer has broken down? Do you get that stuff?
If someone's sick, stay away from me. I don't want to catch it.
It's only because of insurance he won't do it. Yeah, he is qualified. Yeah. No, I couldn't fix anything. But I can pretend to press buttons, and that's all you need to do, really. I didn't join the first one until later. What was nice about the first one was that everybody got their space to be introduced. It was like a really nice, almost like a pre-curtain call of everybody. I just happened to be the last one, so I kind of joined the film later on and was involved in the latter part of the movie. With this, we were all in it from the top, and that was really nice because it was more of an ensemble, even more this time.
And I think that's always the challenge, when you have such an amazing cast, but a large cast, it's an amazing challenge to ensure that everybody gets their moment to contribute and to shine. And I think JJ and the writers really pulled that off.
Mm-hmm. You're both really great as the comic relief, but of course you also have a lot of great serious moments as well. But does that put extra pressure on you guys, especially because this is a darker movie, to be the two main sources of lightness, I guess?
Yeah, for me, I certainly didn't really feel as much pressure on this one as I did on the last one. On the last one, it was kind of, everything was new and foreign territory, and we're just sort of figuring, it all out. And after the phenomenal success of the first film, I felt that we kind of had a mandate to run with the ball, and we did.
Mm-hmm. I sometimes find it, I kind of enjoy the serious bits more because I tend to, I was coming from a background of comedy. It's kind of what I'm used to doing. So it's great when we get to play genuine peril, of which there is a lot in this film. And when we're facing, awfulness, it's sometimes those moments I actually relish more than the messing around with my little friend.
And you're sort of like the two Trekkies in the crew. Do you feel more of a sense of ownership of the characters now than you did in the first one?
I think we're both aware of our forebears very much, and with huge reverence to them, would never assume that we're anything other than, following in their footsteps. And both Karl and I are massive fans of the show, aren't we? So,
absolutely, yeah.
But one of the things I was thinking about is that there's so many iconic lines, of course, in the old Star Trek. And I was a bit saddened that we didn't get to hear "He's dead, Jim," or "I cannot change the laws of physics."
I can't change the laws of physics.
He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
Dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
He's dead, Jim.
Is that something you're going to push to get crammed into the third one, maybe?
We've still got time, right?
We do. We do. Yeah. We've got time.
Yeah.
I think the writers are always kind of enjoy putting those lines in, and we both had lines of that kind in this movie. But we didn't want to blow them all in one go. So we'd like to think we're going to do another one. I'd be deeply upset if we didn't make another Star Trek because it's such a fun film to do.
Til slut talte vi med Enterprises to ledere. Chris Pine, som spiller kaptajn Kirk, og Zachary Quinto, som spiller Spock. De to gutter er vel nok det bedste i de to nye Star Trek-film. Deres samspil slår gnister, og vi kan heldigvis bekræfte, at de to skuespillere har en nøjagtig lige så god kemi som deres fiktive alter egoer.
I kind of want to be outside today. It's so beautiful. It's such a smooth way of pouring it on. It's just so lazy. It's just like, check that out. Check out what I can do. Not even bothering to lift it up.
Yeah. And you have such a great chemistry. You did that in the first film. Is that something you work a lot on?
We take chemistry classes. Oprah teaches them. Oprah. No, you can't work for that. You either have it or you don't, and it's really uncomfortable if you're ever in a situation where you don't have it and you need to have it. It's just like extra effort required to pretend like you like somebody. So Chris and I are both very glad that we don't have to do that. We genuinely enjoy each other on screen and off, and hopefully that translates to the character's dynamic.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I'm thinking about, maybe it's just because I'm a crazy fan, but I get the sense when I watch the two movies you've done that there are just some of the mannerisms of William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy are in there. It's just some of the way you smile and walk, and I don't know if is it just me or is it something you're conscious of when you're playing the parts?
I don't think we're consciously trying to evoke them or capture any of the things that they did with the characters, but I think it's inevitable. They're such indelible, iconic characters, and they have very specific, especially Spock, who is, operating within a boundary of restrictions that prevent him from gesticulating or expressing himself more than a certain amount. So I just think that, they bubble up a little bit every now and again. And I love that. I love the moments when when you can see it in Chris's performance, because I think it's so effortless. It's clear that he's not trying for it, and it's all the more satisfying when you can kind of get a little color of it, you know?
Yeah, I think JJ's whole idea from the start is that it was a reimagining, so it was really up to us to figure these characters out and discover what we could from playing them. But then, that being said, it's also really fun because what Shatner did with Kirk is so indelible and so iconic. It's always fun to throw a nod to the fans, and it's just quite honestly a lot of fun to do because he's so what he did was so much fun, and but that was always kind of a thing with JJ, kind of picking and choosing those little moments, and hopefully for the fans like yourself, you guys get enough of that kind of nod that it makes that it appeases you.
Also, do you feel like a greater sense of ownership of the characters now? Because I think the first one was also very much about stepping out of the shadow of all the franchise had done previously, and now taking ownership totally of it. And I think your performance is brilliant, but do you feel more comfortable in...
Yeah, I mean, Leonard has been very clear about his support of me in the role, and he and I have become incredibly close in the last 5 years. He's really ascended to a very important place in my life personally, and so I never felt like it wasn't mine, actually. I mean, he supported me from the very beginning and was very clear about wanting me to carry on the legacy of the character, and it was great that I got to work with him, and that he was a part of that for me. So I feel I was never, they'll always be originated by Leonard and Bill, and neither of us are trying to take away from that or to carry them in any way other than with respect and care. So yeah, sure, they're ours now. I don't think Bill or Leonard are going to play them again. I'm careful what I say, though.
You never know in sci-fi.
Det var alt for denne gang på Filmz TV, men vi er meget snart tilbage med et interview med den danske instruktør Niels Arden Oplev, som taler om sin Hollywood-debut, thrilleren Dead Man Down med Colin Farrell og Noomi Rapace. På gensyn. Husk, at du kan finde alle vores tidligere Filmz TV-udsendelser på Filmz under Filmz TV-fanebladet, og også på videovideo.dk, i iTunes og via vores gratis video-app.